Starting off with a super chat. Being on time is a kingly kindness. Sorry, I'm here. How's it going? Oh, man. What is up? Wait, is there a daylight savings thing going on? Hold on. Is that real? Daylight savings? Shit, it did. Wait, what time should it be right now? Hold on. What time is it? It's 11:55? Doesn't feel like it. Oh shit. I had an extra hour and I still didn't do it. Sorry. Man. Fuck, I hate daylight savings times. Jesus. What a dumb concept. Daylight savings time sucks. Anyway, I got my coffee here. Everyone post your coffees in the chat. Ooh, that's good. Oh, yeah. Good stuff, guys. What's going on? How's everyone doing? Welcome to the weekly sip. Yes, it's late. I actually have a few reasons for it. I have a few reasons. George Floyd's nephew is talking about how he knows people inside the Rittenhouse trial and he'll dox the jurors if they don't convict. What the fuck? I need to look that shit up. George Floyd's nephew, juror. Do you have like a do you have a do you have like something that like a link or some kind of citation on that? If you do, send it to me in DMs on Discord or send it to my mods, and my mods can pass it on to me. You gotta send me that shit if that's true. I can't find it. Okay, so it's been a super busy week for me. A ridiculously busy week for me, and we've been doing a lot of stuff. So I pointed out, just give me a minute here. I made a couple of videos recently. Let me just try and pull them up. Let me see here. I can't currently see the chat, sorry. I did a video on October 20th. It was called Going Official, where I announced the fact that the channel had gotten big enough that I could hire a full-timer to help me with stuff out. And then I posted another video a couple days ago called My Employee is Committing Time Theft, where I describe what he's been doing. And I'm going to give you, you posted it on your Twitter timeline. Okay, let's see if I can find it. Let me just see here. I do have some announcements, but I want to get this link first because it seems like it might be spicy. Okay, Twitter. I'll go to your Twitter account. I think I follow you. Al Blustered. Jesus. I do follow you. All right. Let me see. George Floyd's nephew. There we go. Cortez Rice. Jeez, what a fucking dick. All right, thanks. I'll make sure to look at it later. Thank you very much. I got the video. Okay. I'm gonna hold off on the Rittenhouse trial for a later thing. Hey, Kelton. Okay, so hired an employee. We've been doing a lot of good work. We've been getting some stuff caught up. We've been figuring it out. Thanks for all your super chats, by the way, and all your donations and everything else. I will be watching. I will be reading the super chats at the end of the stream, not during. So I will answer all your questions and do that sort of stuff at the end of the stream. And your super chats go towards keeping this operation going because now it's more than just me. Yeah. Oh man, coffee's great. Nothing better in the world than coffee. Okay, so so, here- so next Tubcast when? Okay, Lilith is currently moving house. She bought a new house. She's moving. It's a big move, and she's having some legal problems with it. When Lilith is ready to return, we'll return. And in fact, we're probably going to start a new channel and like do an Adam and Sitch once a week Tubcast situation. We're probably going to do it on Tuesday. Yeah, something like that. I do want to do like a weekly show, a weekly Lilith show, and she's into it too. We just need to find the time, and the time will basically be freed up as soon as she's done moving. But okay, here's what's been happening with me. All right, I looked over the amount of money that the channel was making, and to be fair, it's a fair amount of money. This channel makes a fair amount of money. Okay. And I had basically two options in front of me. The first one is that I could basically, make content, make solid content for a year, save up, like, not really do anything to improve the quality of the content or to improve anything, but just put out the same content I've been putting out for another full year, save up money, and buy myself a house. Get myself a little homestead. The money is there to be able to do that with the ad revenue and everything else. That was an option. That's kind of I did not buy a new desk. I just put some wood underneath it to prop it up. But that was an option. Just with the way, if I just stayed on the current track, I could have a situation where I could get myself a little house somewhere and just keep streaming and keep doing videos out of the house and be set. Basically have things set for me. Um, the second option. The second option was rather than save the money and keep it to myself, I could hire somebody on. So I would not be in a good financial position for a little while yet, but I could hire somebody on, and we could do some of the stuff that I just haven't had the time to do. But that would lead to growth and expansion. And then maybe in a few years, maybe we'll all have houses. Maybe in a few years I can get an office space and actually run like a daily show out of it or something. And I had those two options in front of me. I could basically be like a mini Hassan Piker, or I could go the Sargon route and try to actually build a real company. Now, I wouldn't call it Lotus Eaters, but I do like the idea of having, an office and a staff, and I can hire my friends. We can actually have like non-shitty, non-retail lives. You know what I mean? And so that's what I chose. All right. You'd be foolish not to get your family a house? No, I disagree. I am deciding to reinvest my money back into the business rather than save up. That's what I'm doing. That's what your money goes towards. Your money right now is going towards the salaries of others, and it's going towards upgrading equipment. And basically, you didn't start a co-op? Well, actually, like because it's more of an official situation, an unofficial situation right now. I am actually basically doing the co-op model because Dave gets half of all YouTube revenue. Consume Lotus, then get excited for next Lotus. Poutine eaters. That's what we'll call ourselves, Poutine eaters. I don't know what the company will be called. Doesn't really matter. But basically, the idea is rather than cash out now, I'm going to try to build a real business. You know what I mean? Like I looked up how Linus Tech Tips did it. Okay, and when Linus basically started his channel, like here's the thing: he was working at NCIX, which is a Canadian computer company, and the Linus Tech Tips channel was owned by NCIX. And then Linus hated the actual job there, and he got into fights with the CEO of the company over the dumb shit the CEO was doing. And eventually, he was demoted to making YouTube videos because NCIX viewed YouTube as a great advertisement platform. So he was taken off all other jobs and only made YouTube videos. So he did that for a bit, and he was like, "Wait, we actually made like some money here on the channel, like a few dollars. It wasn't much, only a few dollars, but we actually made money on the channel. There's growth here." So he signed like a 2-year non-compete contract with NCIX to not go work for Amazon or Canada Computers or Best Buy or Newegg. And in return, he got the option to buy the Linus Tech Tips channel for $1. For $1, he bought the channel from NCIX. And then he ran the numbers on how much revenue they were making, and he could hire like 2 or 3 people on full time while he takes nothing. He gets no money. He owns the channel, but he gets no money, and he has to pay the entirety of the revenue out to these 2 or 3 people. And he said, "Fuck it, we'll do it." And that's how he grew his giant YouTube empire now, is because he was willing to basically, live hand to mouth for like the first couple years after hiring on full timers. Meanwhile, his full timers got fully paid. It's like, damn. Yeah, I guess if you want to grow, that's how you sacrifice, right? And I know that not to talk about Sargon's private finances, but I do know that he has definitely set up a situation in which he sacrificed his own personal short-term wealth to ensure the growth of his company, and now everybody else is better off as a result. And so I'm looking at these people who have done this. Yeah, NCIX is bankrupt now. I'm looking at the people who have done this kind of thing, and I'm like, why couldn't I do the same? That's what most small business owners end up doing. Yeah, risk it for the biscuit. Exactly. So basically, rather than take the giant bag that's being dangled in front of me by YouTube right now, I am going to hire people instead. And I've already hired on Dave as full-timer. Please go into it. No. I'm going to hire on Dave as a full-timer. And we're going to start doing some of those projects that I've wanted to do for years, but I just wasn't capable of before. And if that means that I end up I end up renting this shitty house rather than moving into the house that I actually want to move into for another few years, fine. I view it as a long-term growth thing. So I hired on Dave, and that is a lot of your money is now going towards his salary. So thank you for supporting the channel. But I made the joke on Twitter that I run a better worker co-op than almost all bread tubers, because Dave just gets a flat 50% of revenue, of YouTube revenue. So not even Vosh or Hassan will dare to do that shit. But the thing about Naomi and Dom is that they do a lot less work on the channel than Dave or I do, and also they get benefits out of us having more money because they're our girlfriends. Like I buy Naomi a lot of stuff. My boss still pulls a minimal salary from the company and invests in the company employees. Yeah, that's how you should do it, Sig. Yeah. LTT proves the investor gets paid last, where he gets paid first. Yep, exactly. That's how you build a successful business. Vosh is backed by big money. I mean, he did come from Beverly Hills. Well, the thing is, YouTube might ban content. Who knows? I do keep my content pretty vanilla, so I don't think they'll ban me. And but that's also the reason why I am doing other channels and other things, right? Like I have the Game Boomers channel. Make sure you go check out the Game Boomers channel over on Twitch, and that actually makes Game Boomers makes enough to pay rent now. It pays rent on this place. It doesn't pay anything else, but it pays rent, and so anything above that is just kind of extra. And that's why we're doing the DevKit channel as well. So there's a few things. Basically, there's like a lot of organization, a lot of back end stuff, a lot of uploading to alternate tech, or my files aren't organized. Getting things in order has been a lot of what Dave's been doing. So and you know what? Now that he's doing that, I find it actually a lot easier to work. I find it easier to write. I find it easier to manage my resources and my links, my sources for videos. I find it easier to record and upload. I find it a lot easier knowing that somebody else is there doing some of this stuff that I just don't have time for. If that makes any sense, right? Come on. Here. I'll pin. There's the Twitch link. I'll pin that shit. Everyone go follow it. I remain pretty hidden. You think so? I mean, it's possible. I've been promoted. I've been both promoted and demoted on YouTube algorithmically. Short, fat. Yeah, see? As soon as I type short, fat I'm the first thing. For some reason, there's Short Fat Otaku versus Vosh, and I've never debated Vosh, so I don't know where that's coming from. The first one, though, is Short Fat Otaku Trudeau. Now, if you just do Short Fat... No, first for me is too. Maybe I'll do it on an incognito window, because it could be just the fact that I'm logged in, right? Let's see. Yep. Short F, I'm the first thing to come up. Short Fat with a space, first thing to come up. Huh. Maybe I'll do an incognito window with Tor. Alright. Oh my god, Tor is so fucking slow. Just load the YouTube. I know you gotta link it through Turkey, but holy shit, dude. Wow. I'm not used to internet this slow. Our systems have detected unusual traffic from your computer. Yeah? Thanks, Tor. Fuck you. Okay. And yes, please do follow me on Twitch. Please do consider doing so. Okay, so, and with this newfound time that I have, I'm going to be making hopefully more videos once things settle down with the transition. Probably going to change up some of the artwork. Just move into a new era of SFO. I will say though, there was a period there of about a week where I wasn't doing any work at all, and it's because we were basically acclimating Dave into the workflow structure. So it's like, okay, well, today I didn't do a video. I didn't even research on a video because instead I was teaching Dave how to do certain jobs. And that was kind of scary because it's like, oh shit, nothing that we're doing is making money right away. But the idea is that it will facilitate making more money down the line, so you got to do it. When you're one person releasing one video a day, or at least aiming to, I obviously don't hit that mark, but when you're at least aiming to release one video a day and you're only one person, taking a day off actually just it feels like, shit, I'm not doing it. I'm not, shit, like I'm letting the ball drop, but like I was also doing stuff with Dave. And that's what a lot of this week has been. I've actually spent way less time dicking around and way more time doing productive work because one, I did a few videos this week. And two, I've been helping out getting Dave going and getting him working on jobs. And three, once he did a few of those jobs and cleaned up some mess, that unlocked more avenues for me to work. There were more things that I could do. So things are snowballing quite nicely here. And I'm actually pretty excited to see how the future, what the future holds, Things are going pretty good. That being said, if you hit him, he'll work faster. Yeah. So that being said, there are a few things that I want to go over, okay? And first thing I'll do is I will shill. So if you want to join the $5 club in Discord, you have to give a $5 recurring monthly donation at Patreon, Subscribe, the YouTube memberships button, or the sub button over at the Game Boomers Twitch channel. You can also hit me up with $100 US to PayPal. That'll get you into the $5 club for life. Just make sure to send the receipts to me or my mods in Discord if the bot doesn't automatically put you in, because there is an automated process. That's why it has to be a recurring $5 because it's automated. But just send me the receipt if you don't get in, and I'll make sure to put you in. And of course, if you want to mail me your stuff, there's a P.O. box. I do open packages on this show, so mail me your stuff and open the package on the show. It's as simple as that. Okay. What else do I want to point out? Okay. Couple things. Firstly, here's the Game Boomer schedule for this week. I want to keep 5 games max running at a time while using Saturday as a float day for rescheduling or canceling. For example, Chibi Robo would have normally been a Thursday stream, but it's a Canadian holiday, so on Thursday, so now we're doing it on Saturday. This image I made because I save this as a template. I want to actually keep a more consistent stream schedule on Game Boomers, and I think that will also help attract people because sometimes we cancel streams randomly, and sometimes you just can't help it. Like sometimes something comes up, you can't do a stream. Life happens, right? But definitely there are times when we could have just powered through and done it, and we didn't. And I want to basically be more committed to all the things that I do now. So I'm going to be posting these every Sunday. I'll post them on Discord, I'll post them on social media, and I will announce them in the weekly SIP. because this is my community show, basically. And this is the stream schedule started for next week. Monday will be Mass Effect 3, Tuesday will be Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, Wednesday will be Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. Thursday is Remembrance Day in Canada, and so on Thursday we'll be playing... Dave wants to play Medal of Honor Frontline, which is like a GameCube era first-person shooter. I think he has some kind of attachment to that game. Medal of Honor Frontline, it's like a World War II game. So I guess we'll be playing Medal of Honor Frontline. Friday will be a 4-play Friday with me, Dave, Naomi, and Dom. And then Saturday will be Chibi Robo, which is a sponsored playthrough. So thanks very much for Doomcore for sponsoring. And I intend to make schedules like these every Sunday and basically announce the weekly streams. So hopefully there will be something in here that you're interested in. Hopefully. And I'll put one of these up every Sunday, and we'll go over it, and we can talk about it, and then we'll move on. So moving on. As you know, one of the alt tech sites that we've been uploading stuff to has been Brighteon. And this is the SFO channel on Brighteon. And Brighteon, as you also know probably, has this tiered upload schedule, if that makes sense. Where the idea is, basically what ends up happening is you have to hit a certain number of views to unlock the ability to upload more videos. It starts at 50, then it goes to 100, 250, 500, 1,000, and infinite. And you have to hit up to 50,000 views to unlock infinite videos. So if you do intend to watch old videos on SFO, please consider watching them on the Brighteon channel, because I think we just unlocked the 1,000 video limit. And after that, there's one more to lead to infinite after 1,000. So if you want to watch old videos, please consider watching the SFO channel. But also, one of the things that Dave's been doing is uploading all the old anime reviews from like 10 years ago. The channel's called Short Fight Otaku because it was an anime review channel, if you remember. It was an anime review channel. Back when we were younger, this channel started as Dave and me and a few other friends, and we would just goof around and make like dumb videos about anime, and we put other things on that channel too. And then I decided to start a side channel called DevKit, where I talk about non-politics stuff. So we started the DevKit by uploading all the old anime reviews, and maybe we'll do more in the future. And I've done some tech videos on there, some movie videos, basically non-politics stuff. So if for some reason you are one of those people who have been asking for the old anime reviews, which some people actually have been, like, where did the old anime review go? It's like, geez, dude, I didn't know they're that popular. But we've decided to upload everything to the DevKit, and this channel also needs to be to have those view totals to unlock the next ability to upload to it. So we are uploading DevKit stuff, old anime reviews and others, to YouTube and BitChute and Brighteon and Rumble and Odyssey. But Brighteon is the one that we prefer that you click on if you want to watch these old videos. There are a bunch of them, and the main reason is because we need those views to unlock the next ability to upload. So, you want to watch them? Please consider going to the DevKit channel on Brighteon. If you don't mind. What's next? Right. One final thing to announce. This is the SFO Minecraft server. We just had a very successful Halloween stream last week for the Halloween contest. And now we're opening up the Christmas contest. Okay? This is who won. Legion Flourish won the Halloween contest. Here's his little statue here. All right. And now you'll notice instead of the orange carpet, there's a snow carpet. And you can follow the snow carpet through spawn over this way. Okay? And you'll find Santa's sleigh. Here's a Santa's sleigh, okay? And you can hop on the sleigh. To teleport yourself to the Christmas map. And here's the Christmas map. It'll be the same situation. Christmas map challenge. Someone built a tree. Actually, a pretty nice tree. Like, look at this. Dude. That's cool, isn't it? And someone already built like a little suite down there. But basically, this is a map that is 100% snow biome. The whole thing is snow, okay? Every biome is a snow biome. And the idea is you can come to the Christmas map, you can build your Christmas Minecraft build, and then I will do a stream touring all of your builds. We'll have a contest and we'll vote on who made the best build, just like the Halloween one. I swear to God, one of you guys better make the Banjo-Kazooie snow map, like the giant snowman with like the you have to go down his scarf on a sled and stuff. I want to see that level recreated. Oh, who's this? What are you doing, buddy? Who the fuck? Oh, it's Zizmix. All right. But anyway, not Halloween, Jesus. The Christmas SFO Minecraft server map is open. Anyone can go in and participate to build the best possible Christmas build. So have fun, guys. Global warming. Have fun, guys. Have fun. Odin, shut up. Hold on. I'm gonna do kill Odin. Fuck you. Done. Oh, you think it's already 2? You fucks. All of you. All of you. Fuck you. All right, done. Done. Just give me a second. Anyway, the Minecraft server is open to anybody. Your donations keep it running, but it's open to anybody to play on. You can come in and play if you want. Don't worry about it. All right. Now let's talk about some news articles. So, shall we? I have less news articles today because the reason why I was late, by the way, I spent some time this morning. Jesus, hold on. I spent some time this morning. I spent some time this morning because Dave had to go away for 2 days. He's not here. I had to basically do some work with him before he left, and then I had to set up. So, yeah. I was late. I was late this morning because we were basically he had to set up some things and then let it run while he was gone. And I helped him with that. And then he left. So yeah, but I'm here. Here, give me a couple minutes. I'm gonna go to the washroom. It's 1.16.5 in the Minecraft server. Give me a few minutes. I will go to the washroom, and we will talk about some news articles. All right, BRB, guys. Back. Sorry. Here we are. I'm on a... Hassan at least left his chair. Get out of here. How's it going, guys? What's up? Maybe I'll like set up some music or something. Yeah. Maybe I'll make the weekly sip a bit more, a bit more actual produced now that I have time to do so. For those of you, I know some people on last night's Bastion stream asked if I would be covering the recent riot that happened at that one concert. If I'm going to cover it today on the SIP. And no, I'm not. I'm going to do a main video on it. I will do a video on it tomorrow, probably. So, but I do have at least a few articles. It's less than normal, but because it is going to be a shorter than normal SIP. Sorry, just the nature of the beast. I'm doing a lot of work, and I'm enjoying doing a lot of work. I think you guys will like what we're doing. If you just hold on, I think you guys will enjoy what comes out of this in the next few weeks. We are working very hard. Believe it when I see it. Fuck you, Saran. Fuck. All right. I answered the Tubcast earlier. Yeah, there was a riot at a concert. Yeah. Even Killer Tofu and Martyr's Corner have away music. I'll figure it out. Zenchan, because I don't just do strictly political stuff on SFO. SFO is like more news as well. I don't mind doing something like that. It is sad. It's also fucking stupid. Okay. Travis Scott and Adam Baldwin, same boat. You think so? They're at the bargaining stage? No bargaining. I am in direct control. Okay, let's check out what I got here. Let's see what kind of stupidity I have for you today. Let's see. Kroger joins Costco and Target in dropping Chowco coconut milk over PETA allegations of monkey labor. Now, PETA is stupid, isn't it? Like they're a really dumb organization. They've done some dumb things in the past. All right, but monkey labor, monkey labor. I understand. Meet the Galaxy. Show up when you can. Thanks for being here, man. Monkey labor, guys. Monkey. Okay. The selection of coconut milk for sale at the largest grocer is shrinking. Kroger, which operates several regional supermarket chains in 35 states. Kroger isn't in Canada, so I don't even know what it is the latest pledging not to stock coconut products from Thai suppliers who have been accused of using monkeys as forced labor. Monkeys. All right. PETA has been pushing stores to stop selling coconut milk it says are made with coconuts harvested by monkeys since it began investigating the alleged animal exploitation in 2019. Target, Costco, Wegmans, Walgreens, Food Lion, Giant Food, and Stop & Shop have also dropped the Thailand-based brand. Every can of coconut milk purchased from Chowco represents the misery of a chained-up monkey. And grocery stores still buying from this brand after PETA's exposés of coconut cruelty risks losing compassionate shoppers. So Kroger made the right call. Dude, that's all right. I mean, yeah, isn't getting animals to do things for you like environmentally friendly? Yeah, like don't we have horses pull carts and stuff? Like we do that for a reason, don't we? Now, I don't know how I feel about, like, chaining up monkeys to an assembly line. That's probably pretty dumb. But if you have monkeys collect coconuts, I mean, okay. All right. A Kroger spokesperson said that the company followed its established process to evaluate the allegations and engage the supplier and experts to determine its next steps, which were in line with its responsible sourcing commitment. Given ongoing disruptions in on-farm audits due to COVID-19, we were unable to confirm or refute the allegations. As a result, we are suspending sourcing at this time and will reevaluate in the future when more information is available. So, of course, you had these dudes dressed up in fucking monkey outfits with coconuts. All right. All right, dude. I don't fucking know. Arguably better than renewables. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this one. It's fucking weird. You know what? I think that's how I feel about it. It's weird. Woman convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to 4 years in prison for having a miscarriage. Whatever this system is, it is not pro-life. Brittany Poolaw. Poolaw? Oh, that's a very unfortunate last name. Brittany Poolaw has been sitting in an Oklahoma jail for more than a year and a half. She will spend still more time behind bars, having been recently convicted for first-degree manslaughter and sentenced to 4 years in prison for miscarrying her child. In May 2020, Poolaw, then a teen, arrived at a local hospital after losing the fetus at 17 weeks. She was soon transferred to a cell and charged with a felony, on the theory that drug abuse had led to the fetus's demise. At trial, the veracity of the claim was in doubt, with an expert witness for the prosecution testifying that Poolaw's drug use may not have been a direct cause of death. An autopsy concluded that the unborn child had tested positive for methamphetamine and amphetamine, but also found a congenital abnormality, placental abruption, and chorioamnitis, an infection associated with maternal, perinatal, and long-term adverse outcomes, including stillbirth. In other words, it's entirely possible that Poolaw's miscarriage had nothing to do with her behavior. No expert at trial stated that her drug use caused the miscarriage. It's a confounding case on many levels. Perhaps most confusing is how exactly Poolaw's prosecution fits with the state's current abortion laws, which allow women to terminate a pregnancy prior to 20 weeks gestation. Though Governor Kevin Stitt signed a bill in April that would outlaw abortion after the detection of a fetal heartbeat, it was not slated to take effect until November 1st and has been temporarily blocked by courts. Poolaw's pregnancy ended well before that. And Poolaw wasn't even seeking an abortion. She had a miscarriage, possibly through no fault of her own, and she will now suffer a barrage of legal consequences not experienced by Oklahoma women who ask doctors to terminate their pregnancies. Last year, the Oklahoma Supreme Court ruled that the criminal laws can be applied to pregnant women in the context of child abuse and child neglect, and therefore, by extension, manslaughter and murder, where the harm is felt by a viable fetus. Viability is understood to begin at 24 weeks. As a legal matter, Poolaw's conviction and sentence go against the foundation of how the U.S. approaches such issues. And this is where the person starts talking about their own opinion on the happening, because this half of the article is opinion. This half of the article is the facts. So I mean, good enough to actually presenting both of them. Good job. But this is I did a video at one point where I gave both the pro-life and pro-choice arguments for healthcare and rebuttals to each. And I know several times I've also talked about abortion in other more casual contexts on this channel. And I've always said that attempts to further restrict abortion will lead to people who have miscarriages getting hit with manslaughter. Not with murder, because murder requires some level of intent. Manslaughter can just be like negligence, right? So people who have miscarriages, if abortion is murder, then people who have miscarriages through accidental means, they're guilty of manslaughter. That's how it has to be. Yeah, you say meth, though, I mean, come on. Yeah, fair enough, meth, okay. But also, not just meth, all right? There was an abnormality. It looks like the placenta was pierced somehow, and there was an infection, all right? This is not all the product of meth, all right? That's kind of the point here. Is that obviously this person shouldn't be using meth. It's fucking stupid. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're pregnant and you're using meth. Are you just a terrible human being? Yes, agreed. What kind of terrible person does that? But it is unclear if she's actually, responsible for the death of this fetus. All right? If you do something that causes your kid to die, yes, that's manslaughter. Okay, fair enough, Serranos. How about this? A woman doesn't know she's pregnant yet, because you generally can't tell until the 8-week mark if you're pregnant. Okay? Woman doesn't know she's pregnant yet. She has sex with somebody. A few weeks later, she goes out partying. She drinks a whole bunch of booze. She has a very early miscarriage. Is that manslaughter? I don't think it is. I think to place this standard on women would arbitrarily restrict their civil liberties to the point that it becomes untenable to live a normal life. And that is a big problem with the pro-life point of view. It's a lot easier to kill an embryo than it is to kill a fetus, so no, it's not manslaughter. That's not an argument. It's easier to kill a baby than it is to kill a grown man, but it's still murder if you do so. It's not an argument. See, everyone's saying meth in the chat, but no expert at trial stated that her drug use caused the miscarriage. I know that you've heard some things in this article that line up with your worldview, but you are also ignoring things that you don't want to hear. This is what I mean. If you're going to value the life of unborn children so high that you can restrict the civil liberties of women who are carrying them, that's a very terrible slippery slope. All right? That's an extremely terrible slippery slope. You can get to there are people who have looked at certain laws and have basically said, well, listen, the way that this is written, if we give it the most restrictive possible interpretation, that means that any woman who's currently not on her period has to live a more restricted life because she might be pregnant. Yes, it was still a factor, Zen Chan. I know that. I'm not saying it's not. But this is the point. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to go back through this here real quick. At the hospital. Yeah. An autopsy concluded that the unborn child had tested positive for meth, but also found these various deformities. So which was it? Was it the meth or was it the meth or was it the deformities? We don't know. And in a situation that we don't know, what do you do? It's not an easy question. You would have a much stronger argument if we knew. You would have a much stronger argument if we knew for a fact that it was the meth that killed the fetus, but we don't. And what do you do in a situation when you don't? Hold on. The privilege/right to bear a child comes with responsibility. That's just how it is. It's not an argument, though. It's not. Because if the most strict interpretation of some of these laws is literally that if a woman is not on her period, she must live a more restricted lifestyle because she might possibly be pregnant, and therefore she can't drink or she can't basically do anything that might endanger her fetus, otherwise she'll be negligent, that is a ridiculous position to hold. That is a completely ridiculous position to hold. Innocent until proven guilty. Hold on. Outside of rape/incest, she's likely chosen to get pregnant. They need to live with the consequences of their choices. Yeah, that's not true at all. Well, yeah, that's also the part. That's also another point, Zab11, is that a lot of these, a lot of people who really want to harshly restrict abortion access, they don't understand the possible fallouts, the possible legal fallout that comes out of that. And the legal fallout would be completely dispensing with reasonable doubt. Oh, no, meth is not a restriction. Here's the thing. Meth is already illegal, dude. Obviously not. But I mean, here, chat. Chat, let's have this. Here, chat, let's have this discussion, all right? A woman's pregnant and she doesn't know it. Okay? She doesn't know it yet, but she is pregnant. And then she goes out drinking with her friends, drinks a bit too much alcohol, is hungover the next day. Nothing crazy for nothing too nuts, basically. Just a party night, okay? And then this woman has a miscarriage. Doesn't even know she's pregnant. Has a miscarriage. Is she now like negligent towards her child? Should she be punished for some form of negligence, even though she didn't know that she was pregnant? See, I think no. And I think holding her responsible for a situation she didn't even know she was in is unreasonable, in my opinion. I'm not saying that drinking at a bar is the same thing as meth. I'm not making that argument. I am simply leading you down the path of your argument. Yeah, see, there's a bunch of people saying yes, and I don't agree. Yeah. No, no, no. I'm not saying. Okay. I'm not saying that. Oh God, you guys aren't listening to what I'm saying. It's how the fuck did you turn into NPCs? I am not describing this situation. I am describing a different, more stringent hypothetical because that difficult. Sorry, that more stringent hypothetical is downstream of this conviction. All right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because if you can say, for example, that meth caused this person to like she took meth, her child died because of the meth, and then you say that that's some form of manslaughter or murder. Okay, fine, because she took the meth. But no expert at trial stated that her drug use caused the miscarriage. So you cannot say that. You can't be like, oh, it's the meth. Oh, it's the meth. Oh, it's the meth. You cannot say that. All right? Right here. It's right fucking here. I selected it. You can't say that. Okay? So, if not meth, what was she charged with? What was the source of the negligence, if not meth? Because, as we know, it's already not meth. We already know that. All right? This is what I mean by saying downstream, because her conviction is disassociated from her drug use, and that's the problem. That is the problem. It's meth because chat said so. Okay, yes, yeah, got it. The baby was 17 weeks. In fact, the baby being at 17 weeks, since the legal limit for abortion is 24, how is this a problem? Okay. You don't like abortion, fine, but the legal limit for abortion is 24 weeks. If she miscarries at 17, but she can have a legal abortion at 24, how is it in any way justified to throw this woman in jail? It doesn't seem to be. It doesn't seem to be. And that's the problem with this kind of shit. Next story, agree to disagree. Is that what you want to do? Yeah. Tidge, I actually agree with you most of all. These are very tricky subjects, and it's difficult to have a catch-all because every situation is different, right? No bad ex monkey. Jesus, can you guys take like can you guys not take the the like worst faith interpretation of what I'm saying for once. No. Here, to be fair, I should not say for once. You guys are generally very good faith. When it comes to this topic, I've noticed a lot of people just like lose their fucking minds. I don't think any kind of judgment can be made unless we definitively know what caused the miscarriage. Okay, so that's true, actually. That's true. If you don't know what caused the miscarriage, it is very hard to make a judgment. So, in a situation where we will never have the knowledge, all right? Consider this. It is a situation where, just due to the nature of how things have played out, we will never have the knowledge. We will never know what caused the miscarriage. Do we? Or do we, as imperfect people sitting on the jury, do we or do we not convict? Because you can say it's complicated, but at some point you got to make a decision. I would say we don't. I would say, however, we should probably convict her for possession of fucking meth. Convict her for that, but I don't think we can convict her for killing a child. Convict her for being a woman. All right, should we move on? Should we move on from everyone's without the facts you don't convict? All right, there we go. There we go. That's how I feel too. That's how I feel too. It's the meth's fault. I don't know. All right. Listen, by the way, no hard feelings against anybody in the chat whom I disagree with. We are ultimately having fun here, okay, guys? Don't worry about it. Let's keep going. Restaurants are facing a nationwide chicken shortage. Maybe you could use the fetuses. Family-owned restaurants around the U.S. are struggling to keep a steady supply of chicken tenders, wings, and breasts on their customers' plates. Dude, no more tendies! It's the tendies shortage. Oh my god. Consumer demand for the bird has surged amid the coronavirus, with Americans turning to comfort foods and buying more chicken sandwiches from fast food restaurants. As millions of Americans sat idle during stay-at-home orders last year and ordered chicken meals from local restaurants, poultry producers have been unable to keep pace. Hey, Aiden. Oh, Aiden. Lilith and I are going to be starting like a weekly stream, Adam and Sitch style, probably on Tuesdays. If you ever want to pop in there, you always have an open door. That'll probably be starting, I don't know, whenever Lilith moves, maybe like next month, whenever Lilith moves into her new house. Outbreaks of the coronavirus in meat processing plants early on in the pandemic forced many plants to close, putting further strain on the supply chain. Kill you? What do you mean, Zenchan? Are you gonna miss out on your tendies? Tom Super of the National Chicken Council. There's a National Chicken Council. He stopped short of declaring a national chicken shortage, but acknowledged that wing supplies are tight. Man, you guys remember the day of like 25-cent wings? It's fucking awesome. Bojangles has a system-wide shortage. Dun, dun, dun. Higher prices for restaurants. You know, we all know what's going on here. Nothing too crazy, but I just find it really funny that there's a National Chicken Council and that chicken tendies are going extinct. Exclusive. Berserk live action series is in the works. You're gonna see. You're gonna see what they've done to your boys. All right. They've done it to, and Netflix has done it to everything else. They're gonna do it to Berserk, and that's just how it's gonna be. Enjoy. Fans of Guts are definitely gonna want to hear this one. No, they're not. Giant Freaking Robot has learned from our trusted and proven source that the popular manga series is being adapted into a new show. A Berserk live... I see the chat go. The Berserk live action series looks like it could be headed for HBO. This is an incredibly exciting development, and one that could become one of the bigger series out there if everything goes according to plan. Few other details about this Berserk live-action series are available right now, but it landed on HBO, and we would have a sense of just how they wanted to produce this kind of story. Not being hamstrung by network censors is pretty important for telling the central story and establishing a world full of all manner of evil, some human and some not so much. So, guys, best answer for who plays Guts in the Berserk live-action series, all right? Wrong answers only, okay? Who would be the worst actor to play? You can make him black. You can maybe make him black. You could do that. I mean, forget about the fact that it's like he's basically in a multi-ethnic relationship with that darker-skinned woman anyway. But Brie Larson. I was gonna say, like, man, I don't know who. Yeah, these Chris Pratt. Oh God, Chris Pratt, Idris Elba. Holy fuck, Seth Rogen. Who would you actually have? Vosh. Lots of people saying Don Cheadle and Chris Pratt. John Cena. Christopher Walken. Terry Crews. Okay. Guys. Now answer, who would actually be a good actor, for real? If you're going to make a good Berserk live action, who would be a good answer, or a good actor? All right? Elliot Page, Steve Buscemi, The Rock. I wonder who. I can't think of anybody who would actually be able to pull it off. Batista? The Rock? You? Dev? Want me to do it? Chris Chan? The dude who was Aquaman. Oh, he could actually, yeah. He was also in Game of Thrones in the first season. He could possibly do it, yeah. Henry Cavill, maybe Henry Cavill. Sargon. Adam Sandler. Yeah, if you like give Henry Cavill a different face. Here's the thing. Henry Cavill was too buff for The Witcher. Because Geralt is like slim, you know? Jason Momoa? Yeah. He could possibly do it. Bruce Willis. Rob Schneider. The Joker guy? No. Anyway, it's going to be shit. I was talking last night on stream. I was mentioning that how much I hated the new Harry Potter movies. And how if by some fucking miracle of magic they got all the legal shit in order and they actually did a Harry Potter Methods of Rationality movie, it'd probably be fucking incredible. But, oh well. We can wish, we can hope, but we never get what we want anymore. Trolls will be jailed for psychological harm. Rich Evans, fuck. Trolls could face 2 years in prison for sending messages or posting content that causes psychological harm under legislation targeting online hate. Oh my god, dude. Ministers will overhaul... Hold on. I'm going to see if I can, like, get this... Continue reading off the screen. Okay, I'm going to... No trolling allowed anymore, guys. No trolling allowed. Okay. Ministers will overhaul communication laws by creating new offenses in the forthcoming online safety bill, the flagship legislation to combat abuse and hatred on the internet. Crimes are going to be based on likely psychological harm. The proposed law will shift the focus onto the harmful effect of the message rather than if it contains indecent or grossly offensive content, which is the present basis for assessing its criminality. A new offense of threatening communications will target messages and social media posts that contain threats of serious harm. It would be an offense where somebody intends a victim to fear the threat will be carried out. A knowingly false communication offense will be created that will criminalize those who send or post a message they know to be false, with the intention to cause emotional, psychological, or physical harm to the likely audience. Government sources gave the example of anti-vaxxers spreading false information that they know to be untrue. That's the thing, though. Most anti-vaxxers believe what they're saying is true. Like, a lot of them are wrong, but they still believe it. The new offenses will include so-called pile-ons, where a number of individuals join others in sending harassing messages to a victim on social media. All right. It is now illegal to ratio people on Twitter. This is the UK. This is not Canada. This is the UK. The Times was told that the plans had been sent to the cabinet for approval. Nadine Dorries, the culture secretary, is intending to add them to the bill when it is introduced to Parliament next month. The move is likely to be met with resistance from freedom of speech campaigners and civil libertarians. David Davis, a former cabinet minister, said assessing based on the impact it has on the receiver was too subjective and urged the government to rethink the proposals, especially given it has hailed the legislation as world-leading. That sounds fucking awful, dude. Like, this is probably the funniest part. You can't ratio people anymore. Holy fuck. Pretty sure it's illegal to ratio MPs. Fucking hell. Man. What the fuck, UK? Cyberpunk 2077 had a China censor flag called Winnie the Pooh. It appears that CD Projekt Red used a tag called Winnie the Pooh to flag content that needed to be censored for the game's Chinese release. The big CD Projekt Red data leak that occurred seems to be causing even more trouble now as more details emerge about the game's development. The censorship flags seemingly point towards the company using the character to refer to content that have to be cut in China. There's not much more to it than that, but it's just like Winnie the Pooh. This has to be Winnie the Pooh. Christ. Oldest sperm to date is preserved in 100 million year old amber. It's the most ancient coom. A 100 million year old Myanmar amber has housed the world's oldest ever sample of animal sperm. How did it get in there? Was like a monkey jacking off and like it squirted like into a sap that was on the side of a tree? Like, what's going on? The sperms are enormously long. They're several times larger than human sperms. This sperm came from a shrimp-like crustacean that is smaller than a poppy seed. Oh my god. The sperm cell measures approximately 0.6 millimeters and belong to a still living organism under the class of microcrustacean called ostracods. These organisms are known to house sperms that are up to 10 times larger than they are. How? How do you have sperm bigger than you? Life finds a way. Da 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 da. Hey, guys, if we ever find like ancient human sperm, like preserved in amber, like Jurassic Park style, do you think we should try to like make a baby with it? I wonder. Create some ancient baby? Maybe. It might be interesting to try. No? What? Yes? Yeah, we'll recreate like Paleo Chad. Abort? Hold on, you guys are against abortion. That's the plot of a horror movie, Dev. We find like an ancient human sperm and we impregnate a woman with it. Who has to pay child support? All right, let's continue. Quick-thinking hikers unravel their turbans to help with rescue at Metro Vancouver Park. A group of quick-thinking young men were forced to get creative by using their turbans as a makeshift rope to help rescue a pair of hikers in a Metro Vancouver Park earlier this month. 5 friends were enjoying their hike at a Lower Falls trail at Golden Ears Provincial Park when they saw a commotion. They said, "2 people are stuck there. Can you help them? Can you call 911?" They saw 2 fellow hikers stranded on a large rock in a fast-moving river. Singh said that he and his friends didn't have cell phone reception, but they knew how to improvise. "We didn't have any other equipment to save them. We only had our turbans." So the 3 wearing turbans unraveled their headdresses to make a rope along with their jackets. In my Sikh culture, the turban is for that, to help save the life of people who need the help. The 2 stranded hikers used the makeshift rope to eventually pull themselves to safety. Unbeknownst to them, the Ridge Meadows Search and Rescue was already called and volunteers were already on their way, but by the time the crews got there, they were no longer needed. "Quite amazed," said the manager. "I had never heard anything like that or seen anybody doing anything like that. I thought it was quite resourceful. They showed great presence of mind to put something together like that in such a short time." Oh, that's pretty heartwarming, eh? Yeah. Yeah, Sikh turbans are like 3 meters long. You can make a pretty long rope using a bunch of those. See, I know there's lots of people who get Sikhs and Muslims confused, but Sikhs are definitely they're very highly integrative into Western democracy, and I have no problems with them coming over and before jailed for blasphemy. Is it like a video of it? Hold on. Ah, shit. Hold on. Is there a video of them doing it, or is it just pictures? Let's see. Okay, shut up. Oh, there's a video of them doing it. Here, hold on.
The roar of a fast-moving river, trapping these 2 men near the Lower Falls Trail at Golden Ears Provincial Park.
Jesus.
A spot search and rescue crews have been to many times before.
The water is extremely fast. There is pretty much no chance of survival if you were to have fallen in.
This time, there's
You sound extremely slow, dude.
needed.
They said there's 2 people stuck over there, so can you please help them and call
Jackets, they made a sturdy rope.
my Sikh culture?
Oh, that looks cool, eh? Look here, check it out.
Their 3 turbans.
Here. They just have a big ass rope. Neat, dude. Good job. Yeah. It's pronounced Sikh, but in their language it's actually pronounced Sikh. But we pronounce it Sikh. I just say Sikh because it looks like a Sikh. Yeah. Yeah, and they have a religious injunction to help when asked, and they can use their turbans as part of that kind of thing. Cool, though. Cool. This was an article that's a little bit older, but I didn't have a place to fit it into my ableism video, like the Jim Sterling video. But it was in the same pile of links, but I couldn't really fit it in. So we're going to talk about it right now. Endgame's 3-hour runtime is a stark reminder of Hollywood's hidden ableism. If a movie is too long, it's ableist now, guys. Oh my God. There's an unspoken stumbling block that may prevent some fans from participating in the cultural phenomenon in theaters. The runtime of the film, which clocks in at 3 hours and 2 minutes. The long runtime isn't a huge surprise. This is, after all, the conclusion to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and some of our favorite heroes' journeys are expected to come to an end. Some fans even celebrate the hefty length. For disabled fans, however, particularly those whose disabilities interfere with their bladder control, the runtime can feel daunting and inhibitory. Disability within fandoms and within Hollywood is constantly overlooked. Whether that's the connection to casual tweets to just deal with the runtime and hold your pee, I guess we're talking about pissing, or in regards to broader accessibility and inclusion issues, such as limited or no captioning available, The stark ableism of such remarks discounts the predicament disabled fans are faced with, and makes them feel invisible and isolated in spaces they occupy. So, in the case of Endgame, longer runtimes to bring to the surface the discussion of hashtag PMath, a hashtag created and used by the disability community over the past few years. PMath is calculating how long we can be out and about, or in this case, sitting in a dark theater, before we need a bathroom break. Fuck. So literally, because some people can't hold their piss, make movies shorter. Holy fuck, dude. Holy fuck. Listen, I'm not interested in having things pulled down to that lowest common denominator. Like, Avengers Endgame fucking sucked. Alright? I am tired of the MCU. I'm tired of Marvel. I'm tired of cape shit. But fuck you. This is so stupid. This is so fucking stupid. Expecting disabled people, or anyone for that matter, to hold their pee for 3 hours is exclusionary. Particularly when you add into the equation the full dynamics of the movie-going experience, which include not just the length of the film itself, but also the customary mid- and post-credit scenes and the concessions a moviegoer looks forward to consuming. It's exclusionary, guys. It's exclusionary that you gotta piss as a human. Yeah, just fucking go pee and then, like, leave. Like, no, go out to the washroom. Like, oh, it's a tiny spot in the movie. It's the sex scene or whatever. Quickly go to the washroom and come back. Or you know what? Here. You should do what all the old World of Warcraft pros did. They pissed in bottles. So figure it out. Replace the seats with toilets. That's what we do. Fucking hell. This is why they hate Dune. Your bladder game is weak. Oh, fuck. Yeah, if someone wants to send this to Mahler, here, you know what? Maybe I will. I'll put this aside and I'll send it to Mahler. I think he'll love this shit. Get a catheter. Humans are a mistake. Why more young women are getting sterilized. Rachel Diamond looks like most of the moms at the Park Slope Cafe where we met. She's wearing a green t-shirt under a black corduroy jumper, sensible shoes, and carries a smart leather bag. She sips a $4 iced chai. Except the 31-year-old isn't a mom and never will be. You know, she says cheerily, I never expected to be the poster child of sterilization. On the aspiring actor's TikTok, one finds short, funny videos about Diamond's job working the register at a cafe near Union Square, and updates on her rescue pit bull, Rue, who has anemia. Mixed in are the clips extolling her child-free life. They have titles like Sterilization Attempt Number 3. And Being Child-Free, We Do Know What We're Missing. It's been 5 months since she had her fallopian tubes cut, and she has 64,000 followers. Growing up near Hershey, Pennsylvania, Diamond always assumed she'd have a family of her own. Then came college at Arcadia University, her political awakening, away from her conservative roots and towards progressivism, and a therapist who she found online a few months after graduation who made her realize that being spanked as a child was deeply traumatic, and it made her fear authority figures like her father. She decided she never wanted to be one herself. Looking back, I never pretended that my American Girl dolls were children. They were always my sisters. There were little things showing that I wasn't preparing myself for motherhood. I think for me, it's as innate as saying I've always wanted to be a mom. Diamond is hardly an outlier. Americans are making fewer babies than we've made since we started keeping track in the 1930s. And some women like Diamond are not just putting off pregnancy, but eliminating the possibility of it altogether. Last year, the number of deaths exceeded that of births in 25 states, up from 5 the year before. The marriage rate is also at an all-time low, at 6.5 marriages per 1,000 people. Millennials are the first generation where a majority are unmarried, about 56%. They are also more likely to live with their own parents than previous generations. They're also not having sex. The number of young men having sex, ages 18 to 30, who admit that they've had no sex in the past year, tripled between 2008 and 2018. Cities like New York, where young secular Americans flock to build their lives, are increasingly childless. In San Francisco, there are more dogs than children. It used to be that people wanted to make babies, women especially, but also men. That was a healthy young person's default position, and our existence depends on it. We wanted to do other things, of course, and the great post-feminist challenge was how to have it all: the proper work-life balance, the career and the baby, the supportive husband, and the adventurous life. But now, for an increasing number, the question isn't how to have it all, it's why do it at all. This psychological reversal didn't just happen. It took place inside the hurricane of spiritual, cultural, and environmental forces swirling around us. But the message from this young cohort is clear. Life is already exhausting enough, and the world is broken and burning. Who would want to bring new, innocent life into a criminally unequal society situated on a planet with catastrophically rising sea levels? Okay. If you truly believe this, and there is at least some reasons to believe this, okay? This actually makes sense. If you lived in a fucking apocalypse, all right, where you knew for a fact, let's make it like 10,000 times more extreme, all right? Scientists measure the core of the Earth, and we realize that the planet's going to explode in the next 5 years. Would you have a child? Probably not. It'd be stupid, right? Like, why would you have a child so that your child can be 5 years old when it's vaporized by an exploding planet? You know, why would you do that? Why would you do that? It would be a dumb thing to do. Now, our current situation is not nearly that crazy. But these people believe, unironically, that humanity is fucking coming to an end. And that we're all just gonna fucking roast in sunbeams. So, or we're going to be flooded in water world, right? So, if you actually believe that, it makes sense not to have children. The problem is not that they're looking at this data and coming to the conclusion that they shouldn't have kids. That's a reasonable conclusion. The problem is that their data is wrong. That's simple as that. Wait, why? Why would you have a child if it's just going to die at 5 when the planet explodes? Right? It's dumb. Yeah. It's just veiled nihilism. Yeah, that is what it is ultimately. This is just veiled nihilism. They have given up. And they say life is already exhausting enough. And I don't think life is actually any more exhausting than it was, say, 50 years ago. I think that these are just softer people. And that's the truth. They are just softer people. I don't think I don't know if people like that, but it's the truth, man. Like, people used to pull off such amazing feats back in the day. They would hold themselves together, and they would hold their families together, and they would hold down jobs, and they would build businesses, and they would do the things required to build and maintain civilization. And now, if they have to fucking call and order a pizza rather than order it online, they have mental breakdowns. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. At some point, you just gotta harden up a little bit, don't you? Yes, I'm calling people soft, despite all of my softness, and I know what it is. You know what I mean? Now, here's the thing. I have actually looked into the child-free question before, and it seems like in every society, okay? In every society, you have about 5% of the population, sometimes a little bit less, but not much less. It's generally about 5% of the population that does not want to have children and then doesn't, all right? That seems to be a rock solid number. That number goes up if you have like a highly prosperous civilization, but it never really goes below that number. So most people want kids, but it is a small minority of people that don't. And it should be a small minority, okay? Like, this view that like half of all people don't want kids, that's probably pretty destructive. And I think a lot of it is probably more culturally ingrained than it is your natural inclination. So, for example, this woman here, this diamond person, all right? All right. She moves away. She goes off to university. Her political awakening. Keep in mind that it's all, see, if she moves from conservative to progressive, it's an awakening. If she moved from progressive to conservative, it would not be called an awakening, you know? They use specific language here. Um, and then she also realized that being spanked as a child was deeply traumatic, and now she fears authority figures. Okay, do you think that maybe this person in a different environment, with possibly even different parents who treated her differently, she would want to have children of her own naturally? The answer is probably yeah. So it seems to be that there are a minority of human beings at any point in history who naturally just don't want to have kids. It is innate in them. They don't want kids. But most people do. You know what I mean? Most people do want to have kids. And I think that that a lot of these people who might be like on the fence, they could either do it or not, you know, take it or leave it. They're actively being trained out of it, if that makes sense. All right. Zen Chen, that's not necessarily true. Not necessarily true. She realized her trauma. No, sometimes you can. Sometimes you can have problems that you don't quite know about, and then you realize it. Like that happens all the time. The writers of such stuff have admitted they brainwash women. Well, the thing is, Tidge, regarding me being a hypocrite, I mentioned that there is a minority of people who naturally don't want kids, and then there's a big chunk of people who have basically been goaded into wanting things other than kids. And if those people were in a different society, they would want kids. I am extremely sure that I am in that minority camp of people who naturally don't want kids. I'm very sure of that. And that's a very long conversation as to why I'm sure. But I do not have, like, when you go on like the child free subreddit or whatever, you'll notice that there's a lot of people there who just like fucking hate children. They fucking hate parents. They're like overcompensating almost, you know? They're like, I thought I wanted kids until I went off to university and I realized how good sex was and how good getting high was and how good going to parties every weekend was. And it's like, okay, so you're just a child then. You just have a stunted development. All right? Okay, fair enough. People who truly don't want kids from like the bottom of their soul, they don't realize it that way. They don't realize it after becoming more progressive. You know, you can definitely be a more conservative minded person and still not want children. You were in, yeah, I'm sure. Okay, of course I am. And here's the thing. Yeah, there's also the issue that my genes. There are some problems in my family I don't want to pass on. To be completely frank, Naomi and I have discussed it. Have discussed the kid question, and we would both rather adopt. We would both rather adopt children than have our own. We will never have our own children. We may adopt in the future. That's not off the table. But we're not having our own kids. Simple as that. Having looked at the CF subreddit, is almost all people being angry at bad parents? Yes and no, Aiden. I've seen a lot of that, yeah. But there's definitely some people who just fucking hate children on there. And you know what? I don't hate children. I think that's the difference between a person who's like really trying hard to fake it or has been pushed into this position and now they want to feel consistent, so they stay in this position even though they don't really want it anymore deep down, and people who actually hold it. Is like people who are faking it, they will just be like, I fucking hate children. I don't hate kids. I don't hate kids. Simple as that. You know? How many would I adopt? That depends on finances. That depends on finances, to be honest. Adopt Avalon. Don't want to pass on being Canadian. Yeah, fair enough. But no, I would definitely consider adopting in the future. If if I had completed a lot of the things that I want to do, and I've built my business and it's financially stable and we have money, I'd be like, yeah, maybe this is the time, you know. Dev literally e-begging so you can adopt kids. No, I will not be having my own children. No. Sorry. Don't worry. My family's genes have already been passed on, you know. My sister will likely want to have kids at some point. I don't know if she will, but I think she might want to. My cousins have all had kids. Like the genetics of my grandparents, from which my my genetics came from. On both sides of the family, they have both been passed on many times through other branches of the family. I am not needed so much. Seeing cat ladies treating their baby Yodas and pets like real children. Yeah, that's a bit fucked, doesn't it? If you adopt kids and join your Discord server, oh god. Yes, my sister would have the same genetics, yeah. What about my unique genetic makeup? I mean, the whole point. Everyone makes comment. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna take this away for a second. Okay. Everyone talks about you have to pass on your family's genes, your family's genes, your family's genes. It's like, okay, well, I mean, in terms of my parents, there's me and my sister. My sister will probably have kids. In terms of my grandparents, on both sides of my family, they have many children who have children who have children. So it's like. So it turns out that that covers the what about your family's genes argument. It's covered already. It's been passed on. So the only thing that's left is my personal genes. And my personal genes don't matter that much, do they? I mean, everyone talks about passing on the family. Well, that's been done, you know? So now the only argument is passing on me. And I don't view myself as being that important. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? And like, hold on. How many genes in DNA? 2 million bases. Okay. How many generations until that's not really you anymore? Because think about it. If I have a child with Naomi, it's half my genes, all right, and half hers. Then if that child has a grandchild, it's 1/4 my genes. And then if I have a great-grandchild, it's 1/8 my genes. Then it's 1/16, 1/32, 1/64, 1/128, 1/256. You can keep going down until it gets to the point where it's not really my genes anymore, like at all. So how many generations is that? Hold on. It'd be like 2 to the 15, maybe? No. 2 to the 150? That's way too much. How about 2 to the 25? At 2 to the 25, it's already not me anymore. I'm doing the math on this, guys. Do some quick and dirty math. Okay. It seems like at 21 generations. Yeah. So at 21 generations, my genetic contribution is down to less than 1 gene on average. So I don't think it matters that much. I don't think it matters that much, dude. So no, I am not like. Here's the thing: if my family was actually going to die out because there was like no people, there was like nobody had kids, it was just me, then maybe I might feel depression. Then maybe I might feel the pressure to have kids in that case. But because I have so many fucking cousins, and they've all had like 3 kids each, I don't care. I'm good. I'm good. That's why you keep your genes in the family. Fucking hell. Jesus. Just grab the closest cute trap and fill them with your gene seed for the good of the empire of mankind. That's how it works, eh? Dev, no, you can't just deconstruct the indigenous grift live. Oh, no. Yeah, dude, so I'm 1/16 Native American. 1/16. That's like 5 generations. All right? I'm white as fuck, by the way. I'm white as fuck. But I'm more native than Elizabeth Warren is. Yeah, see, that's how I view it too, Studio Rob. It's more important to pass on your values to children than it is to pass on your genes. Genes can be important, definitely, but like it's more important to pass on your values, which is why I'm not against the idea of adopting, but I'm not going to be having my own. Simple as that. What's next? Hold on. Oh yeah, check this out. Man with knife sets a train in Tokyo on fire. Let's check this out, guys. Hold on. Check it out, dude. What the fuck, dude? So wait, is the train moving while it's on fire? Oh my god, oh my god! That really fucking lit up quick. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh my god! Is it not like an emergency stop? Holy shit. Out the windows, guys, out the windows. Holy shit, dude. Damn. You can see a dead body in the background. Well, if people are saying Batman's Joker, but I don't think it... Someone in the chat said it's not the Joker. Someone said it's not the Joker, it's a JoJo villain who did it. Either way, meme magic, guys. Yeah, to be fair, you know, he's looking pretty fly doing it. He doesn't give a fuck. He's a JoJo villain, yeah. Wild, dude. Fucking hell. And finally, last but not least, plus-sized women admit they aren't attracted to overweight men. Why is it that the women are plus-sized, but the men are overweight? As a plus-size woman, there's this expectation you should only date overweight men. But what if you aren't attracted to plus-size? Oh, now it's plus-sized men. These women open up about dealing with the stigma of being plus-sized and refusing to settle and date overweight men. Look at these tell-all confessions, guys. Tell-all confessions. Sometimes I feel guilty because I'm not attracted to bigger guys, even though I'm plus-size myself. I find it rare to find a big guy that takes care of his appearance and hygiene the way that I do. As a fat person and someone who used to be much fatter, trust me, you ain't taking care of shit. I'm a plus-sized woman, but I'm not attracted to big guys. I get a lot of hate and criticism for it, but I can't help that I like average to muscular types. Well, you know what? They also like average women. They don't like plus size. That's just how. Unless you're really into like the thick girls, you know. I'm overweight, but not attracted to overweight guys. It makes me feel bad. I can't expect someone else to watch their weight if I don't. You see, at least you understand your hypocrisy, right? I'm plus size and I'm not attracted to really big guys. I've never been rude or anything, it's just not my thing. Everyone has a body they like to look at. An overweight man is not one of mine. It's just like you see the double standard here, right? Like the double standard here. I feel so hypocritical. I'm plus sized, and I'm not attracted to bigger guys. I only like average body types, not a ton of muscles, just average. I don't know why. Because you're normal. Because you're normal. I hate when people think I have to date bigger guys because I'm plus sized. I can't help that I'm not attracted to them, and I like muscular guys. Well, you know what? Muscular guys generally don't like you. Seriously, Tess Holiday, no one cares. You know what a guy this ripped thinks when he sees a really overweight woman? It's like, damn, you think I could bench press her? You have to lift with all your might. I may be plus size, but I'm not attracted to big men. I know it's wrong of me, but it's just a huge secret I've kept from people I've dated. Yeah, I know. I'm just having fun. Let me have some fun. I just found it, okay? I'm a plus size woman, but I'm not attracted to big men. They have to be reasonably average. There's nothing wrong with having standards. True. There is nothing wrong with having standards, which is why should people date you then? The fat phobia is coming from inside the house. Oh no. Just because I'm plus size doesn't mean I have to settle for someone I'm not attracted to. I just don't like overweight men. I want my fairy tale like everyone else. Well, in a fairy tale, the woman usually isn't a fucking ham planet, all right? You say fat, I say a challenge. Why is this one ditto? I'm not attracted to plus size men even though I'm a plus size woman. I feel like a horrible person, as you should. I'm overweight, but I don't like overweight men. And I find chubby chasers weird and creepy. Yup, this is why I'm single. Yeah, it is your fault, isn't it? Like, if you're explicitly rejecting the type of person that would be interested in you. Like, what the fuck, dude? I'm just not attracted to plus size guys, but I don't mind being friends. Don't worry, guys don't mind being friends with you too, lady. Fucking hell. Fucking hell, dude. I feel that since I'm overweight, I should just be grateful for whatever looks at me and asks me out, but I'm just not attracted to overweight men. See, the thing is, some of this you probably can't help, right? Like, if you're an overweight person and you're not attracted to other overweight people, it's like, okay, fair enough, who is, right? But for the same reasons that you're not attracted to them, which is legitimate, they aren't attracted to you. And also, other people aren't attracted to you. It's like they think it shouldn't go both ways, which is just so stupid. Fucking hell. Not even friends? Anyway, that's enough goofy fun for now. That was pretty good. If you want to support the channel, there's the P.O. Box. Mail me your garbage. I'll open up on the stream. There's the $5 club. You give a $5 recurring monthly donation to Patreon subscribes to our YouTube memberships or twitch.tv/GameBoomers, one of the 4, and you can get into the $5 club in my Discord. If you send $100 USD to PayPal, you get in there for life. $5 club for life. Just send me the receipt. And now we shall look at the super chats before we get going. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for all the support. I really do appreciate it. I told you at the start of the stream all the big things I've been working on, and hopefully you will see the fruit of those labors soon. Big things are coming. We are doing a lot of good work. And I hope that you enjoy what I have to show you in the near future. Okay. See you later, everybody who's leaving. But I will read the super chats now. Oh, and also, I posted the Game Boomers stream schedule on Twitter. Make sure you check that out as well, okay? Make sure you check it out. Make sure you check it out. I put all the games that we're doing this week. It's on Twitter. It's in the Discord. Check it out. Let's see what's going on. Generic for $5. You know what would solve the problem? Knife control making a population more vulnerable and defenseless to bad people who won't cause more problems. Yeah, a lot of weapon control is just stupid. Hagnar for 15. Thank you very much. We have alien UFOs on CNN and Fox and IRI villains. Best timeline. Change my mind. Thanks for the donation, man. Jackie Chun for $5. They're not just your genes, you doofus. You realize other people have copies of them inside, right? It's about reproducing those into the world. What, do you think it's like some kind of Assassin's Creed shit? Where, like, your memories live on there's like a genetic memory? Matapass for $5. You won't be having any of my kids. You also going, fuck you. Electric Sheet for $5. Dev, no. You can't just deconstruct the indigenous grift live. Oh, no. Wilson for $5. Soft people unwittingly carrying out eugenics. Soon only the Chads will be left. From them shall rise a new generation of heroes. Cue dramatic music. Charisma for $2. Progressivism is literally anti-civilization. Kind of, eh? Dapper Wolf for $2. We call it eugenic. Yeah. Generic for $2. Have these people never heard of bottles and diapers? No, dude, they do like cloth. They do like cloth diapers all the time. They're very all organic and naturalistic. Matapassa for $5. This new law going to be good for Christian. You can blame trolls for his autism. Thanks, dude. William for $5. Being a member of the National Chicken Council has to be peak bureaucrat. Matapasser for $2. We're having fun with meth-induced abortions. Yes. Tepafray for $5. How about that short and simple weekly sip? Oops. Yeah, the abortion thing really kind of spun us off, didn't it? Generic for $5. As with any court trial, unless you can prove beyond a reasonable doubt the guilt of the individual, then you must drop the charges. Agreed. Yoro Zuya for $2. Sup, Dev? Sup. Thanks very much. Cool Guy Aspie for $5. What's your take on couples going bareback? I would say that if there was no attempt to protect the pregnancy, then it should be assumed. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. Dev is guts. Get out of here. Hagnar the Viking for $20. Thank you. I think Islam is right about women, so yes, women should be restricted anyway. All right, dude. William for 10. Thank you. If abortion is illegal, it wouldn't be applied to women, but to abortion doctors. It's impossible to enforce abortion laws against women themselves. The ethical position is separate from the law. Okay, yeah, fair enough. That's actually a good point. It would probably be illegal to induce abortion, not illegal to get one, if it was made illegal. That's probably the way you have to go with it. Cool Guy Aspie for $5. If Lionel has his tech tips, you mean Linus? Are we going to get Dev's anime advice? Ooh, that's a channel, eh? Dev's anime advice. Do. Jackie Chun for $10. Props for running a business. Thank you. It's such a huge coordination problem. If I put in more effort, how do I know people will sub more? If people sub more, then why should I put in more effort? I don't get it. What do you mean? Well, people sub more because they see the effort, right? Like, that's why. Patrick Todd for $5. Hey, why don't you live stream on Odyssey or Rumble? Is there any money in it, frankly? Like, it sounds kind of almost like materialistic or something, but because I have employees to pay, I'm keeping my streams on Twitch and YouTube, you know, just to keep money flowing. Simple as that, you know. Anonymous Coward for $5. Linus Tech Tips proves the investor gets paid last, workers get paid first. True. Socialists, progressives, and jackass social democrats will never comprehend what risk is. I think sock dems understand it, but not the others. Fang for $10. Thank you. I'm just going to go there and ask for the sauce in the thumbnail. Sorry, I looked it up on Google Images. I just searched anime girl coffee. Sorry. Dapper Wolf for $5. Thank you. Henry Cavill would make a good guts, but his tiny arms wouldn't be able to pick up the sword. Thanks. Thank you. $20 from Alamendorius. Thank you very much. Shared your Trudeau analysis with my 70-year-old mother. She was genuinely impressed and wants to hurry up and make the Jagmeet sing one. Do you think Canada is pretty much doomed to Trudeau-esque leaders? No. We've had conservative leaders before. We will again. It's just how it is, you know. Adam the Spaghetti Fanatic for $2. You'd hire me? No. Zontar for $2. He just posts Sneed. I don't know what Sneed is. 1,000 HUFs, whatever those are, from Serathis. Congrats on making it a big shot exploit of your employee. Thank you very much, dude. I'm going to be 100% The best capitalist. Artemis Fowl for $5. Freedom Land allowed the rest of the world an hour to catch up. You failed twice as hard today, Dev. Oh, fuck, dude. Wolfsbane for $5. I want to have kids, but I'm a recovering black pill to women. I have to find a good relationship before I try kids. That's how it should be. Like, you should have a solid relationship before you have the kids, dude. And then finally, from Matapasta for $2. Being on time is a kingly kindness, Devo-kun. Thank you. Dev, I say this every week, but I think you should include articles that you cover in the description so you can find and share them. I haven't seen you say it before. Probably just haven't noticed. And yeah, I probably should. Maybe I'll do that next week, okay? Yeah, sounds like a good idea. All right, guys. That was the situation. That was the stream. Thanks for being here. Make sure to support the channel if you feel like supporting it. If you think it is worth it, if it is worth to support it, please consider doing so. And drop by on tomorrow's Game Boomer stream. I posted the schedule on social media and in Discord. Get yourself going on the Minecraft Christmas map. Get your Minecraft entries started for the Minecraft Christmas stream coming up in late December. And what's the last thing I gotta say? What's the last big and? Oh yes, if you want to watch the old SFO content, whether that's on DevKit or on SFO itself, the anime reviews or the politics stuff, check it out over on the Brighteon channels first, please. All right? Okay. I will see you next time, guys. I'll see you tomorrow for a new video. See you tomorrow for a new stream. Have a good day.